I'm Devorah Wallen, and I'd like to share my Tea for Two, my Torah thought, for 2 minutes more or less. This week's Torah portion is Vayishlach, meaning, and he sent. This refers to the messengers that Yaakov sent in front of him to appease Esav, his brother, who was armed for battle. The Ramban, Nachmanides, says that the book of Bereshis, Genesis, is called Sefer HaSimanim, or the Book of Signs. That is because this book is considered the blueprint for the future history of the Jewish people. For those who understand these signs, it is the source of the mysteries of how the Jewish people have survived through thick and thin, living with nations who tried to destroy us in almost every generation. According to the Midrash, whenever Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi would visit the Roman governors on behalf of the Jewish people, he would first learn from the Torah portion of the week so he would know how best to negotiate with the Roman leaders. Our portion includes the ultimate and future promise that the Jewish people will live safely in the Holy Land. In this portion, the descendants of Esav, Edom, are discussed in lengthy detail, which seems to be unnecessary. There are verses about the kings who reigned in Edom, high officials who were descendants of Esav. In this book of signs, the commentators explain that this is a sign that the lengthy confrontation with Esav is not only in the time of Jacob, but in the future of the Jewish people. As a matter of fact, our tradition explains that this last exile is the exile of Edom, or Esav. This has been the longest exile of over 2,000 years. Nonetheless, we learn in this portion that the Jewish people can live a Jewish life even during exile. As the verse states, Im Lavan Garti, I sojourned with Lavan. Rashi explains here that even though he sojourned with Lavan the swindler, he maintained his Torah observance despite the poor influence. The letters Garti are the equivalent of Taryag, which refer to the Taryag or 613 mitzvot. Similarly, later in next week's Parsha we read the verse, Eila Toldos Yaakov Yosef. These are the generations of Yaakov, Yosef. Rashi explains that Yosef was similar to Yaakov in appearance and in his ability to maintain his covenant with Hashem even though he was living with Lavan. Similarly, Joseph showed his commitment to Hashem's Torah when he was in prison, as well as when he was living as Viceroy of Egypt. May we take the signs of our ancestors and recognize our inner strength by maintaining our Jewish standards despite challenging influences in our midst.